Hi everybody, Mick Beard here with another exclusive gameplay video from the pre-patch Nilfgaard patch, which will be hitting on February 6th, this coming Monday. But I wanted to show you a little bit of gameplay for Pirate Skellige, which is a discard archetype that's likely going to be led by King Bran. And you're going to see a couple cool things in this video, a couple cool mechanics. You're going to see the new King Bran, which functions as discarding from the deck as opposed from the hand, and buffing those cards that you discard from the deck, but no longer drawing you a card, as I think that ability ultimately is just a little bit too hard to balance while keeping this leader good. I don't think it's really a nerf, because King Bran competitively was already such a struggle to play. So I think that making him more useful, even though his ability is not as powerful as drawing any card from your deck, I actually don't think that this is a nerf to the card. I think it actually makes it a little bit more viable. So we do have that. We are going to see that. We are going to see the Wild Boar of the Sea. We're going to see the buffed pirate captains, which in this overlay are showing them at 3. They are actually at 5. And of course, we are going to see some great Nilfgaard counterplay, because my opponent is once again King Blacktooth playing a John Calvert deck, and we get to see some Nilfgaard mechanics. Letho makes an appearance in this game. It's really good. Let's look at the deck as well. I'll give you a rough idea of the deck as I was throwing it together kind of in the middle of a Q&A session. Really just wanted to try out some new cards. Let's take a look. All right, folks, this is the deck that I'm using for the gameplay video. This is a deck that I have played in the previous patch. I call it Drake Racing, which involves playing multiple instances of Drake Bondu to beef up Queen's Guards and make your graveyard units very, very strong. King Bran's new ability involves discarding from the deck and buffing, which allows you to reliably draw 3 Queen's Guards right away. King Bran wasn't necessarily bad because his ability was bad, because his ability wasn't really bad. It's just that it cost you cards to draw a card. And ultimately, that flexibility, you'd sooner build in deck thinning techniques to assure you have better draws than actually sacrifice that much card advantage to get that draw. So King Bran does no longer have to sacrifice card advantage to actually do something, and I think that the ability is actually very good considering all the graveyard play Skellige has. Now, many people can argue right now that Skellige doesn't have a lot going for them because Nilfgaard has a unit, a bronze medic that pulls from the graveyard, and monsters are going to be very strong. But I think that there is a world where this deck, or a deck like it, can do stuff. It wouldn't run Ragnarugin, it'd probably run Madman Lugos, perhaps the new buffed Ceres at 12, who is an objectively better Geralt at the moment. And of course, Wild Boar of the Sea is lots of fun. So this is mainly revolving around weather. It was just put together to test out some stuff. So let's jump into the gameplay. I'll see you there.
I shall not repeat Emir's mistakes. Of course, friend.
Of course, friend. Little Skellige versus Nilfgaard action. In a deck that I think maybe has a version that works. This was obviously a deck that we threw together. I wanted to see how Wild Boar of the Sea works, as I mentioned in the intro. Ragnarug is in this deck. I don't know why. I don't know why I kept it. Operator is in this deck as well. Hoping that I could maybe operate a Queen's Guard or some other valuable target that would work with Wild Boar of the Sea. Perhaps operate even a pirate captain or something that definitely would work for me and not for my opponent. Very, very rough deck building. We didn't have a lot of time to test it, but I wanted to show you guys how Wild Boar of the Sea works and how it cannot work when your opponent plays counters to you. So I have 2 pirates in hand, and that's actually not bad because I generate additional pirates with Wild Boar of the Sea. The unfortunate part about Wild Boar of the Sea is that you need the rain for its ability to activate, otherwise it's just an 8 strength gold. So it's, I don't like using the term clunky too often, but I feel like maybe it is a little on the slow side. It would be great if it spawned rain. And my opponent, who I believe is King Blacktooth, once again, starts off with weather immune units, and that makes me cringe a little bit because I clearly built a weather deck with Wild Boar of the Sea. So none of my weather is really going to be useful on him if he continues to use weather immune units. He was trying out the Albert Pikeman. So here's my Wild Boar of the Sea. It's on the siege row, and it's looking to set sail against the forces of Nilfgaard. You're going to see a few new mechanics here. You're going to notice that Clan Doom and Pirate Captain are 5 now. That's one of the things. You'll notice that Coral has to select the road that she afflicts with weather. There's the Ambassador buffing his weather immune unit, and I don't really have an answer to that one. So I think it's time for me to make a little rain. So every turn that the Wild Boar of the Sea is on the water, a Clan Dimoon Pirate Captain is generated at the bottom of my deck. And of course, every time I play a captain, they all go to the graveyard. So the idea is...
Burak! The semblance of power don't interest me.
His Vikavara Medic was useless there. We've seen that in a couple of gameplay videos. Vikavara Medic can get pulled and have nothing to pull. The idea is that I load my deck up with pirates. Now I'm using King Brand's new ability
Sit
here.
at my table and let's drink.
Discard 2 cards from my deck, not my hand. So I'm discarding 2 Queen's Guards because I'm holding one. So the idea is that I play the pirate, pirates come out, and then a few turns later, my second pirate will be able to do more charges, and my pirate captain will be able to be buffed twice by 2 separate Clan Demon pirates on 2 separate turns because of the Wild Boar's ability. It's a slow-moving ability, but I did want to showcase it because it is one of the new and more interesting cards in my opinion. But it also works with Queen's Guards, and it works with Drake Bondu, buffing up Queen's Guards in the graveyard. You can reliably put the Queen's Guards in the graveyard. And but unfortunately, since King Brand doesn't tutor out a card anymore, you can't reliably pull a card.
The semblance of power don't interest me.
So he decoys King of Beggars, which you saw, buffed it by 3 base strength, popping it back into the fog and creating the prize-winning cow. Interesting choice of cards here in this deck.
Pansy.
The tooltip for King Brand said that the discarded cards get a buff of 2. The Queen's Guards here have a buff of 1. We're going to have to stay tuned to the patch notes to see what the official ability for King Brand is. You can see that I'm looking at the tooltip here to understand, and I think I'm asking one of the devs, what's really supposed to be working here? Is the tooltip right, or is the gameplay right? And I could do this testing all day long. I think that this stuff is this is the kind of QA stuff that I think is really cool. So at the moment the game is tied, all of his energy is in that one unit, and I can't really stop it. So I'm hoping my Clan Dimoon Pirate Captain will be able to carry me to victory. Now that they're at a power level of 5, it feels a bit better to run 3 of them because they have high ceilings and you don't necessarily just play it and let it die to mushrooms being weaker now, pirates being stronger now. You really, nothing short of a Thunder, Alzur's Thunder, can take care of it here. So my hand isn't great. I have an operator that I didn't use on Queen's Guard. Unfortunately, I have a Ragnarok that I can't really seem to find a home for. I'm hoping that the Clan Demon Pirate Captain will help me win this round. But I think this gameplay aside, from my end, I think that this game showcases a lot of cool stuff, and KBT does a couple of things to me here that in this match that are very strong. So I'm thinking the Pirate Captain will be good. Well, I guess I didn't count on him running one of the new Witchers.
There is no escape.
And that is Ox. Now you can see how the locking works here. The locking will deny the captain from gaining any strength. His active ability is locked down. On top of that, his weather immunity is also removed. So now he is affected by the fog, like every other unit would be without weather immunity. So locking a weather immune unit in a weather deck is quite strong. I'm a bit at a loss here without the Pirate Captain being active. I play the Pirate. You can see I have 5 Pirates in my graveyard now. That would have been 5 charges for the Pirate Captain. And plus I have another Pirate in my hand that can be triggering a couple of turns later. If only there was a card that affected multiple instances of a card in a graveyard. Perhaps that might be a little better. But without the Pirate Captain or having any sort of discard, Calvet bringing the ambassadors back for a point swing. Now I'm 15 back. I got to figure out how I want to do this. And I find out the hard way here. Spawn appropriate weather on the opposing row. Coral is an agile unit, and that's what the tooltip says. But I will tell you, she can't do Frost. So that tooltip is probably updated for the patch. You can't do Frost with Coral, even though she suggests. That short ends up being quite a problem for me. So I'm thinking I can use Coral perhaps to weather out the short. Based on her tooltip, I actually thought that she would be able to Frost the row. So now, a quick pass by KBT, making sure that I got to spend the cards, and I can't do it with one card. Unless it's Sigurd Rifa. I suppose I could have done it with Sigurd Rifa, but I thought Coral would be enough. because according to the tooltip, I thought that I could Frost the Row. But her effect is the same. She is Rain and Fog. So, whoops. I'm unable to do that. So, now I'm running out of time, and I think I'm actually talking to people about it, asking why it's worded like that. And ultimately, do I play Sig here to get it in one card? I think that Sigurdrifa is too valuable to do it. And I also have... So I try to do it. I end up doing it in 2 cards here. It's not pretty. It's not pretty. Sigurdrifa could have done it in 1. But seeing as how there's so much weather immunity, I've got Ragnarok, and I have Coral, and I have Aeromancy in my hand. I figured that this might be the best time to get value out of Aeromancy. I think in hindsight, I would have played Sigurdrifa just to do it. But now I have 2 reses, lots of stuff in the graveyard. Maybe it's going to be okay, but I had to play 2 cards, and I have to go first. And that's not going to bode well for me, I think, in this round. I think I have a chance. I've got pretty hefty Queen's Guards. I've got reses for the Queen's Guards. Let's see if I can pull it out against the one and only King Blacktooth, who is trying out a nice John Calvert deck. Definitely experimenting with some of the newer cards like the Alba Pikeman, the Weather Immune Melee, as well as, well, it's all new, really, when you're talking about Nilfgaard. Glory to the Empire, of course.
We serve her who is virgin, mother, and crone.
So Queensguard's pretty powerful, as they are usually. I didn't get to use Drake Bondu in this particular match. I do like running a little bit of thing I call Drake Racing, where you get multiple instances of Drake Bondu through Operator or perhaps Decoy replaying it in this case. Sigurdrifa resing Drake Bondu, making sure then getting your Queensguards to be like all very, very strong. Unfortunately, they are weak to weather still, and they always will be. But Blizzard Potion is a thing. Even though I did miss it in my card reveal, Blizzard Potion does apply weather immunity to all instances of a unit. And here comes the Vicovaro Medic pulling out a ship. So that kind of stinks. I don't know if I was going to grab the ship. I probably was going to grab the ship.
May Modern Freya watch us and keep us.
Because really my only options is, what pirate do I want?
What's this on one?
Well, I'll take that pirate. Because they're all the same to me, really. At least this one has some sort of upside. No discard mechanics left. But my strength is fair, even though I feel like I'm kind of on the back foot here due to card advantage and due to the fact that he has weather immune units and I have a lot of weather in my hand. He's got a unit at 1 and a weather immune unit. And he's going to use that Nausicaa Standard Bearer just like a Heimei Scald, I believe. If I am recalling this correctly.
Saddle the horses. We ride.
So he's buffing those ships just like Skellige would do. Me too, I can
Older
Skellige,
Blackhand's taking on new
says
swabbies.
KBT.
What do you say?
Oh, I did have 1 charge. I did have 1 pirate left. I did forget about that. So there was 1 pirate left in the deck because of Wild Boar of the Sea. So I got a little bit of extra value out of the pirate captain. Viewing this video now, I did forget that I got that. So we do get to see it trigger at least once. So the Alba Pikeman, really Ragnarok useless in this matchup, and Coral barely useful. But I'll take the value of 4 for a 10 strength gold in this matchup. Hopefully Ragnarok can hit something, but Ragnarok is bad for me. It's just going to ruin my board. I'll give you a little spoiler. I don't play Ragnarok. And his emissary goes right into Cantarella, which allows him to draw a card, putting me so far behind in card advantage. I can just really Operator for nothing and just hope that the 46 strength I have is enough. As I say on my stream, maybe he doesn't have it. Maybe he just doesn't have it. Marjoram. From 7 to 11. In this build, Marjoram was still at 4. Maybe he just doesn't have it.
There'll be nothing to pick up when I'm done with you.
So there's Yennefer. Some of you may have seen this video.
I promise.
Letha will behave, he promises. Well, with one card left, I'm thinking maybe I'm okay. But King Blacktooth, he has a combo here. He's on to something. He saw this combo right away. Beckers, Yennefer into Letho into Beckers. It takes 3 gold cards, but the Vicar of Aromatic was also a target, I suppose, if you didn't have Yennefer. It was quite a great game at the end there, even though I went very far behind on cards, and even though my pirate captain got locked out in round 1, I still felt like I had a fighting chance because King Bran now, his ability helps you more if you're running a discard archetype. The Clan Dimoon pirates are also helping that. The pirate captains are better than they've ever been, and my Queen's Guards didn't end up getting weathered in this case. They are still vulnerable to that, but Blizzard Potion, I think you might want to run this in this deck as well. And I think that it was close enough. He had the combo, right? Yennefer into Letho into Becker's Twisted Mirror. It's a lethal 3-card gold combo. But Nilfgaard seemed to be able to hold their ground pretty well with the silvers and bronzes in this particular matchup. So thanks so much for watching, everybody. Please hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Do that YouTube thing. I'll have more content for you later on. Thanks so much. Have a good one.